Unless you've been living under a rock for the past few months, you already know that Voidweaver Disc Priest fundamentally changed the PvP meta in Season 3. But here's the thing, we have some reasons to suspect it could be even stronger in Midnight, thanks to Blizzard's attempt to buff the living hell out of healer damage. And for all of you Oracle fans who want a classic healer experience, you're in luck too, thanks to a major hero talent rework. In this video, we will guide you through what to expect in the next expansion, ranking each major change from a thumbs up to a thumbs down. Now, we don't know for sure when Midnight will launch, but for sure it will be at the start of next year. That means we still have at least 2 more months of the War Within, which means time is running out to hit your goals. To help you out, we recently updated all of our class courses for Season 3, giving you everything you'll need to rank up fast, including videos on how to perfect your rotation or how to get the perfect opener. We cover everything you need to play just like a gladiator in PvP. We even take concepts like positioning and break them down into step-by-step guides. It's like questing, but instead of experience, you gain rating. We even offer a 14-day no questions asked money-back guarantee for those of you who just want to try us out. So after this video, be sure to click the link below for an exclusive discount to get started. For now, back to the video. And we will start with the biggest changes to the Priest class tree. We covered these changes in our Holy Priest update, but to bring you up to speed, Power Word Life, Renew, Shadow Fiend, and even Void Shift are all gone. That's right, Blizzard's ability pruning also hit Disc Priest extremely hard. We're even losing some important passives, like From Darkness Comes Light, and the full list of removed talents is pretty extensive, especially since we're getting virtually nothing in return outside of some talent that increases the damage of Holy Nova, and a rework to Void Tendrils, which now automatically roots enemies at the end of Psychic Scream. Seems good on paper, but it can be dispelled now, which kinda sucks. And again, another problem with the class tree is that there are loads of Fade talents worth taking towards the bottom of the tree, taking up valuable real estate. For now, we're gonna give the new Priest tree a big thumbs down. The pruning of Life Swap will definitely be felt unless it is somehow reintroduced as a PvP talent. But what about the Disc Priest tree itself? Let's discuss Blizzard's design philosophy. Sticking on theme with the expansion, several talents have been pruned in order to simplify the game, including Schism, Shadow Covenant, and Twilight Equilibrium, all of which can be used to buff damage output. Blizzard's intention is to increase the core damage of spells like Mind Blast and Penance so that players don't need to rely so much on damage modifiers. For instance, we will now have a talent called Shadow Tap that buffs Mind Blast damage passively at the cost of increased mana, and Holy Ray, which simply buffs penance damage or healing with each consecutive bolt. Now, both of these are damage modifiers, but don't require players to alter their rotation. And even though From Darkness Comes Light was taken out of the game, there is a new, or in some ways returning, talent in the form of Shadow Mend, which causes Shadow Word Pain ticks to sometimes change Flash Heal into this vintage Priest spell. Shadow Mend is a bit tricky, however, since it gives the target a dot that lasts until they have taken a portion of damage that Shadow Mend heals. This is kind of how Shadow Mend worked in the past, though it had a smaller damage penalty back in the day. Speaking of damage, there is another new talent called Greater Smite, which temporarily increases the damage of Smite the more times you're able to chain cast it. We'll talk about hero talents later, but we could see this being insanely powerful for Voidweaver, since Smite gets upgraded to Void Blast during Entropic Rift windows. That's right, Voidweaver could potentially be even better next expansion thanks to this talent alone, especially considering that Atonement itself now transfers more healing, while many damage spells have gotten passive buffs to offset the loss of key modifiers. We're also seeing a rework to Evangelism, which is no longer a big one-tap heal, but instead simply casts Radiance, while also giving a buff that removes the cooldown of Radiance for 8 seconds, which could wind up being insanely strong in Arena thanks to the Ultimate Radiance PvP talent. Speaking of cooldowns, Power Word Barrier is now a choice node with Ultimate Penitence, which might seem a bit disappointing at first, but let's be honest, Ultimate Penitence is sort of a frustrating cooldown to use in PvP and could benefit from a rework itself. Now, even though many of the Disc Priest redesigns are an attempt to simplify the damage side of things, there will still be plenty of min-maxing, as talents like Wheel and Woe and Harsh Discipline are still in the game. Overall, we're going to give the spec changes a thumbs up. Blizzard has definitely made the spec easier, but not so easy that you'll feel bored. Now, in case you've been out of the loop, Midnight also introduces some brand new Apex talents, and for Disc Priest, they look very cool. They're called Master the Darkness, which honestly sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh card, and the first node is relatively uninteresting, simply buffing damage and atonement, but the second talent are where things really get fun, since Penance Ticks have a chance to upgrade Power Word Shield into Void Shield, which sounds cool on its own, but also will automatically cleave onto your nearby allies. That's right, AoE shields. And to make things even better, these shields will reflect some damage thanks to the final Apex talent, which will also be converted into Atonement Healing. So yeah, we're definitely giving the Apex talents a big thumbs up here. Blizzard did a really good job at designing something that is on brand with the spec while also being fairly interesting and fun. Now though, let's take a look at the brand new hero talents coming in Midnight. We'll start with Oracle first, which has been majorly redesigned due to the removal of Premonition. That's right, ability pruning did not stop in the class and spec trees, as Blizzard has decided to gut yet another cooldown in favor of more sustained healing. Not to worry though, because the new Keystone talent is pretty useful, simply adding an additional charge to Penance, with Twin Sight being the new end cap talent, causing Penance to cleave. With this, we're getting a shorter shield cooldown thanks to Waste No Time. But perhaps the most broken part of Oracle is Piety, which, as you might know, was part of Premonition but is now passive, allowing all overhealing to splash over to nearby allies. This could be insanely strong during evangelism windows when Radiance has 0 cooldown. The War Within Season 3 tier set bonus was also baked directly into the Oracle tree with Prompt Prognosis, simply adding more power to the first bolt of Penance. As for Void Weaver, there weren't fundamental reworks. The spec is seeing new passives, including Quickened Pulse, increasing damage over time frequency on Shadow Word Pain and Entropic Rift, and Overwhelming Shadows, which simply buffs Mind Blast. The third new talent is called Touch of the Void, which simply allows the Atonement healing bonus of Entropic Rift to persist for a few seconds once the rift ends. Not super game-breaking, but could help fill out the downtime in between Mind Blasts. Overall, we're going to give the hero talents a thumbs up. Oracle was definitely the winner here, but Void Weaver continues to look quite strong, especially with the new Greater Smite talent on the disc tree. But we're not done yet, because let's wrap things up with some PvP talent changes. Blizzard went lighter on disc when it comes to PvP talent pruning, with the main losses being Catharsis and Thought Steal, which are now completely gone. Inner Light and Shadow is also gone from PvP talents, but is now on the Disc Priest tree, which is pretty convenient. Priests are also getting a new PvP talent called Psychic Shroud, which is a bit clunky, granting a buff after Psychic Scream hits 1 or more players, providing immunity to the next CC for 15 seconds. For Holy, this is what replaced Holy Ward essentially, but for discs, this is a straight up buff since we didn't lose anything in the process. Overall, PvP talents are getting a mid-thumb. Losing Catharsis kinda sucks in some matchups, and Thought Steal was a fun ability to press in some niche situations. Overall, we're pretty happy with what we've seen so far with Disc Priest on the beta. If the numbers are right, then this could be a premier healer in the meta thanks to having an easier time dealing damage and some huge quality of life improvements thanks to the new Apex talents. The only thing we are really questioning is the loss of Life Swap, which could represent some growing pains early on if damage is super bursty. And before you go, every expansion we help thousands of players just like you hit their rating goals. Like Gizmo here, a Resto Druid hard stuck at Rival with over 5,000 games played, who gained over 600 rating in a few weeks just by using Skill Capped. Our damage and healing courses save you weeks or even months of your time, condensing down everything you need to know into bite-sized videos. You don't have to be scared to sign up because we have a rank up guarantee that promises you will gain at least 400 rating while using our service. So if you're serious about climbing, visit the discount link below to get started. Anyway guys, I want to thank you all for watching. See you soon.